standing up here today on behalf of my family to honor the life of my Uncle Danny. My family, my papa, P. Johnson, who was his father, my Uncle Steve, the older brother, my dad, Peter Johnson, the eldest brother, my mom, Patty Johnson, my brother PJ. I'm pretty sure the people in this room know who I am. And if you don't, you must not be friends with my parents on Facebook. But my name is Meghan Johnson, and I was lucky enough to have Danny as my uncle. And I'm honored that my dad asked me to speak on the eulogy. To all the extended family and friends that are here today, we can't thank you enough for supporting my family and for coming to say goodbye to a wonderful man. All the flowers, food, donations, calls, messages, and everything else that we have received over the past couple of days has been heartwarming and overwhelming, and there's just not enough words to express our gratitude. My Uncle Danny would have definitely been uncomfortable with all this attention, but I can't help but be overjoyed that he's looking down, seeing all the people who cared about him. This is a week of celebration. Danny would have been 53 this past Monday, so I would also like to wish a very happy belated birthday to him. Losing someone as great as him, so young, doesn't seem like a celebration, but we're all here together today, so I feel we owe it to him to not just celebrate his life, but the man that he was. The uncle, the brother, the son, the cousin, the friend, and even the cat dad. Something else to celebrate is the fact that my Uncle Danny has reunited with probably his favorite person, my mama. My Uncle Danny was very close with my mama, and they were alike in many ways. Both definitely free spirits, cared with their whole hearts, and we're all about family. I guess he just missed the mark on having her exquisite fashion sense. We should all assume that the second my Uncle Danny got up there, my mama was running to him, to that hug she's waited so long for, her baby. We can celebrate that my uncle is no longer in pain with his body. He's been through so much physically and emotionally in his life, and now he's at peace. No more being held back by what he can't do. He's finally free. Over the past few days, my family and I have been reminiscing about memories and looking at pictures. We've been so lucky to find some old videos of messages from him and voicemails as well. It's been so impactful remembering just how much he loved us. He cared about everyone and how they were doing, and for me, he never missed a birthday, which always meant the world to me. He would call my Uncle Steve often just to talk and hear what was going on, and like every younger sibling, he really did look up to my dad. I can say that as a younger sibling. My dad told me my uncle was someone who liked the simple things in life. He didn't try to impress anyone. Now, he wanted to know what was going on with everyone, but if you asked him, you would probably get the famous Uncle Danny phrase, I'm doing this and that. I joked earlier about my parents' Facebook, but I know Uncle Danny loved keeping up with us on there. My mom would tell me how appreciative Uncle Danny was of us. He would thank my parents for making him an uncle, and he'd say how proud he was to be named PJ's uncle. And I was proud to be his niece. He was a brilliant man. Anytime we'd watch Jeopardy or any game show trivia, we'd just say we wished we had Uncle Danny. Almost every Christmas, we would try to get him the new Guinness Book of World Records. And somehow he'd know everything in the book already. If there was a stat of something, he probably knew it, or he was going to learn about it. As it so happens to run in the family, he was also a lover of music. David Bowie, The Cure, The Smiths, Pink Floyd, Peter Gabriel were some of the favorites, just to name a few. In fact, some of the best memories I heard were at these concerts. One of the best times was when my parents and a whole group of others, including Uncle Danny, saw David Bowie at the Electric Factory in Philly in 1996. He loved that night so much. My dad would probably say it was because of David Bowie, but truthfully, I think it was the company that really made it special to him. And David Bowie helps for a good time too, of course. I also learned just this week that my Uncle Danny would occasionally write songs as well. Reading some of what he wrote, there's no question he was very intelligent and cared so deeply. I'm thankful to have those words now to always think of him and appreciate his work. Now, 3 boys growing up together sounds like a crazy time. And hearing about some of the camping trips and stories, I would agree with that. However, the bond that my dad and uncles have is deeper than anything that keeps them apart. He was so grateful for my dad and Uncle Steve. He was also grateful for my papa, who took care of him and provided him with company. He always made sure he had the care he needed. I don't know what he would have done without that support. Uncle Danny will be with all of us, and again, this is a celebration. To close things out, I'm going to read some lines from a song he wrote that I felt provided me with some peace. Out of mind, out of sight, will not last, and at the end of that dark, barren tunnel, there will be a shining light of hope. So, don't let him out of your minds and hearts. And then lastly, another set of lyrics I've resonated with are the words of the great David Bowie. Look up here, I'm in heaven. I've got scars that can't be seen. I've got drama, can't be stolen. Everybody knows me now. Thank you, Uncle Danny, for everything. We're gonna miss you so much.